Hello, everyone. Welcome to Frame 316 Media, now powered by Next Story Studios. I think this is going to be the first video that I'm going to be recording for this year. So, everyone who has been sticking around in our channel, huge shout outs to all of you guys. And again, this channel is all about helping you, whether you're a small entrepreneur, a business leader, an organizational leader. The goal is to help you tell better stories. So today, I'm excited to record a quick video, and I'm going to be talking about finding the heart of your brand story. So you keep hearing the word brand story from me for ages, I think. It's still relevant in the year 2024, and we're going to be doing a lot of AI centric videos in the future. So stick around, and I'm also gonna be trying to stick to my schedule and recording videos uh, every other weekend of the month. Okay, so let's dive into our topic for today. Okay, first, I want to talk about why understanding your brand story is crucial for every small business. You might say, as a small business owner, I have no time for this. I just need to keep on selling. I just need to connect to the people that would help my business grow. But actually, in case you're not paying attention, all those connections that you need to do, all those selling that you need to do, all those marketing that you need to do, it's tied down to you understanding your brand story. So that's I think that is really how important that small business owners need to understand what their brand story is and what they stand for and why they do what they do. So what I'm going to be covering for today's episode is, first I'm going to jump in and talk about what is the heart of your brand story, and then I'm going to talk about briefly how to identify your purpose, understanding your audience, identifying your core values, crafting your narratives, and then testing and refining your story. And of course, how to bring it all together into something that can be useful for you as a small business owner. Nowadays, we live in an overly connected environment. Like almost everyone is on social media. If you have a business, you need to have a Facebook page. If you are a thought leader, you need to be on LinkedIn, and you also need to be busy on Twitter, now called X. If you are not in a position to understand or to even be convinced that it's not about the products or services alone, it's about the purpose. Like, how would your product or how would your service make a difference in the life of your target audience? An example that I always talk to when I get a chance to speak. Now, by the way, shout out Geeks on the Beach. I'll be in the Philippines sometime in November to speak with all the amazing geeks in the Philippines. So an example that I always keep talking about when I get the chance to be invited to speak is about Apple. Apple is a brand that was really successful in defining its story, and the result would speak for itself. Although it's not that what do you call this, insane as before. Like when I was in Singapore, people would queue for 2 3 days, when a new iPhone gets released. And I heard there's another new iPhone, iPhone 16. So there's a bit of fatigue probably in that area. But what I'm talking about is Apple was really successful in terms of defining its narrative. So everyone that relates to that narrative, would wake up early, 3 days ahead, and queue long lines just to get their next iPhone, and that's what you want, and that's like probably an extreme example, but that's what you want for your brand. That people would be able to relate to your narrative. What do you stand for? What defines them as a customer when they relate their acquisition of your service and or the use of your product. So that's one good example that I can share with you for today's topic. Okay, let's jump in. Step one, identify your purpose. So take time to sit down, grab your journal, your notebook, an A4 bond paper, whatever, but try to write out, figure out why did you really start your business, and what problem are you solving for your customers. I hear a lot of people like, hey, the real purpose of the business is to earn money. I think that's part of the reason, but it should not be the driving force why you are running your business or why you set up a business. It should not be all about money, and it should be about, remember, as an entrepreneur, you are a problem solver, and it's not about 100% always getting paid. Your joy should come from serving people. Your joy should come from being able to solve people's problems. And so that's the first step in finding the heart of your brand story. Okay, so talking about helping your target audience, it also comes without saying that you need to understand your audience. You need to know who your audience are. So, I've done those mistakes in the past, like trying to serve everyone, but at the end of the day, you would realize you're practically serving no one. I mean, you would have clients, but your specialty, your passion in serving a specific niche, a specific industry would be incomparable to just going out there and trying to win clients from different industries. Um, right now, Next Story Studios is the brand that we have. We're in California, we're in Silicon Valley, and we aim to help brands in the hospitality industry. We can really niche down in the future, more specific, but we were trying to lock our audience in that space, which is restaurant and hotels practically. And for you as a small entrepreneur, that would be a big gamble, but it's a must. I tell you, it's a must that you fix you so that you can understand who your target audience are. You fix it, and you focus on that niche, and also in a way you would have a better understanding down the road when you test your strategies, when you test your execution, when you test the work that you do for these clients. Next, you need to identify your core values, and it requires for you to be more transparent and authentic with your values. What I mean by being transparent and authentic is, if part of your value is excellence, you have to make sure that every bit of the detail, every bit of work that gets delivered, there's excellence that comes with it. Like small typographical errors, like a misalignment on your website, or wrong call to action, wrong phone numbers. We also have done that in the past, like especially for now, we have a small team, and I mean, on my part, I am doing all those training sessions with my team. But again, it's our goal, to be have a specific value and really be aligned to it, being transparent and authentic to it. Okay, then we jump to crafting your narrative. This would, I mean, if you are familiar with film, film school, how movies are made, there's always a beginning, there's a middle, and the end. And your story should also have those, essential part, and there has to be an emotion. Your product or your service, the goal is to find, make it human as possible. So meaning you stay away from being too product or service centric, and really talking about adding a layer of emotion. For example, if you're doing marketing, that's what we're doing. What would be your beginning statement? What would be the beginning of your narrative? Probably the beginning is, really opening up an idea that marketing, the idea of marketing is about making connections that matters to you as a company. And then your middle would be, what would you do once you have established those connections. And then an ending would be, that would of course include the call to action. Your ending would be uh, making nurturing those connections. It can come with a lot of formats, a lot of parameters, but unless you put it on paper, unless you really spend time to plan on it, it's your narrative or your brand story is gonna be all over the place. Meaning, uh, you yourself would find it really difficult to even define, what you're doing. Okay, lastly, you need to test and define your story. For most business owners, this is the time that we all get lazy because it involves bringing other people in. It involves getting the ideas of other people, asking them what they think, and this is something like part of you, as especially if you're a solopreneur. That would be a scary part for you because you have to go out there and ask people, ask your friends, ask your family, ask your loyal clients, like, hey, do you finally understand what I'm doing as a company? Hey, what do you think should I improve on every time I talk, every time I do my pitch? So those are parts of what you need to do just to test and refine your story. But you need to be brave. You need to have a lot of courage because it's not easy because some people might reject you. And again, if the joy, the source of your joy in doing this work is in serving people, that should not affect you in a way. I mean, we were not born, or I mean, how do I say this? We were not born on this planet so that all the people on this planet would like us. Yeah, people would not really like you most of the time. I mean, not most of the time. There would be times that people would not enjoy working with you, and it's okay. It matters up to some degree, but you move on. Find the clients that you can work with, and find the clients that you think uh, would maximize can maximize the value that you can bring to them. Okay, so just a quick recap. Talk about what is the heart of your brand story. You also learn how to identify your purpose. And of course, identifying your purpose would lead you to understanding your audience, being authentic, and understanding your core values, and jumping into crafting your narrative. And lastly, you need to test and refine your story. So, if this is something that you think is very, what do you call this, challenging to do, I encourage you to just do it one step at a time. It's crafting, understanding the heart of your story. It is also one of those things that is not an overnight thing as an entrepreneur. It takes process. So I encourage you, take time, insert that in your calendar. I started organizing my calendar lately, so find a 30-minute block every day, or every other day, find a 30-minute block just to fine tune, have a conversation with friends or have a conversation with yourself. Look at your processes, look at the how you have helped past clients, where you want to go. And I mean, starting would not really require you to be, super organized at that level, but at least you start writing, start doing research, and then along down the road, you put it in a way where I have just shared it with you in this video. And yeah, you would get there. I mean, we would all get there. In my case, I keep refining and I keep fine tuning my the heart of my brand story as well. So I hope this video have been helpful to you guys. And if this was a video that you think is worth sharing, please share it with your friends. I have a new backdrop, by the way, because we are now powered by Next Story Studios. We're using the Next Story Studios color. So yeah, follow my channel. Please subscribe. And you can also check out Next Story Studios channel. We send out a lot of amazing content on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, of course. And we're here to hopefully continue to help you, an entrepreneur, to be a better storyteller. So thank you for watching and hope to see you on our next videos.